Hello, so this is a video on the clinical process. The goal is to identify characteristics of the 3 stages. So how it works, you have the clinical assessment, diagnosis, and treatment planning that are kind of in a triangle, so you can go which way. You can start at diagnosis and go to clinical, all around the circle. Anyway, well, all around the triangle. Assessment, most often a biopsychosocial assessment is used to gather information from an interview. There is another model, ANSA, Adult Needs and Strength Assessment. Screening tools may be used like PHQ-9, Beck's Depression Screening, Hamilton's Anxiety Screen, MAST, CAGE, etc. Clinical interviews, structured, often lack flexibility as the interview builds upon itself. Semi-structured, often more focused on the client's immediate needs, or unstructured, used most often as it allows for free-flowing conversation of lived experiences. Assessment interviews have goals. Capture the demographics, solicit reasons for visit, gather data from person's life story, where do they want to be. This information leads to a diagnosis, if you are licensed to do so. Working through conflict in sessions with others. It must be them, it is the two of us. Conflict management styles. Conflict is an expressed struggle that occurs when interdependent parties who perceive incompatible goals, resources, and interference from the other party in achieving their goals. Types of conflict. Substantive, intrusive conflict, disagreements over ideas, information, reasoning, or evidence. Affective, conflict often results from personality clashes, likes, dislikes, and competition for power. Procedural conflict, a disagreement on how to do something. An inequity conflict, a perception of unequal or fairness. Core concerns by Fisher and Sarpio. A lens to understand the emotional experience of each party. They can be used to stimulate positive emotions as well. Appreciation, where people don't feel they are appreciated, they feel valued. Affiliation, when people don't feel an affiliation with others, they begin to act like adversaries. Autonomy, if people don't feel a sense of autonomy in a relationship, their ability to make decisions becomes impinged. Status, when the core concern of status isn't met, people feel inferior. Role, if someone's role is questioned, the activities they engage in are no longer fulfilling. Positive. Conflict can produce better understanding of both the issues and people, fosters learning, increases membership motivation. People get energized by disagreements. Conflict can produce better discussions. Group problem solving. Produce greatest cohesiveness among the members. Negative. Conflict may cause members to feel bad. Lower group cohesiveness, split the group. A group member feelings, self-esteem is compromised. Competing. Uses when quick and decisive action is vital. On unimportant issues where unpopular courses of action need to be implemented. When you absolutely know you're right, and to protect yourself against people that take advantage. If you scored high, are you surrounded by yes people? Okay, so this is a test that they did. If you scored high, then you're surrounded by yes people, and are subordinates afraid to admit ignorance and uncertainties to you. If you scored low, do you often feel powerless in situations? Do you feel trouble taking firm stand, even when you see the need? Compromises. Oh, compromising uses. When goals are moderately important but worth the effort to disrupt. When two opponents with equal power are strongly committed to mutually exclusive goals. To achieve temporary settlements to complex issues. To arrive at expedient solutions under time pressure. And as a backup mode to collaboration or competition. High, you can concentrate so heavily upon the particulates and tactics of compromise that you sometimes lose sight over the larger issues. Does an emphasis on bargaining and trading create a cynical climate of gamemanship? Low, do you find yourself too sensitive or embarrassed to be effective in bargaining situations? Do you find it hard to make concessions? Collaborating, an integrated solution when both sets of concerns are too important to be compromised. When your objective is to learn, understand the views of others, to merge insight from people with difficult perspectives on a problem, to gain commitment by incorporating others' concerns, into a consensual decision, and to work through hard feelings which have been interfering with the relationship. High, do you spend time discussing issues in depth that do not seem to deserve it? Does your collaborative behavior fail to elicit collaborative responses from others? Low, is it hard for you to see differences as opportunities for joint gain, as opportunities to learn or solve problems? Are subordinates uncommitted to your decision or policies? Avoiding uses. When an issue is trivial, when you perceive no chance of satisfying your concerns, when the potential damage of confronting a conflict outweighs the benefits of its resolution. To let people cool down, when others can resolve the conflict more effectively, and when the issue seems tangential or symptomatic of another more basic issue. Hi, does your coordination suffer because people have trouble getting your inputs on issue? Does it often appear that people are walking on eggshells? Are decisions on important issues made by default? Low, do you find yourself hurting people's feelings or stirring up hostilities? Do you often feel harried or overwhelmed by a number of issues? Accommodating uses. When you realize that you are wrong, to allow a better position to be heard, to learn from others, and to show that you are reasonable. When the issue is much more important to the other person than to yourself, to build up social credits for later issues which are important to you. When continued competition would only damage your cause. When preserving harmony and avoiding disruption are exceptionally important, and to aid in the managerial development of subordinates by allowing them to experiment and learn from their own mistakes. High, do you feel that your own ideas and concerns are not getting the attention they deserve? Is discipline lax? Low, do you have trouble building goodwill with others? Do others often seem to regard you as unreasonable? Do you have trouble admitting it when you are wrong? Do you recognize legitimate exceptions to rules? And do you know when to give up? Advantages of co-facilitation: reduce burnout, intense emotions. One can pay attention to the group while the others scan the reactions. If one needs to be absent, if one leader is affected by a member, the others can take over. And culture and ethnic awareness. This is the Bloom taxonomy, so knowledge, analysis, and understanding, and the evaluation synthesis at the top. Critical thinking, a systematic examination of information and ideas on the basis of evidence and logic, rather than intuition, hunch, or prejudgment. All opinions are welcome, but are they treated equally?